Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Su Jiangqin. I'm from course ECON 4010 section 1. Today I'm going to analyze and compare the perspective of trade and commerce between Islamic and the West. Firstly, let's get to know the background of trade and commerce between Islamic and the West. Trade and commerce played an important role in earlier Islamic world. The Muslim markets dealt in a variety of traded goods, such as salt, sugar, textiles, spices, slaves, gold, and horses. Their trade routes extended to the most part of Europe, North Africa, and Asia. These trade routes are both from the sea and the land. After that, many Muslim markets become very rich and powerful. The expansion of trade and commerce has direct impact on separate of Islam. Muslim markets brought their religion to West Africa, where Islam quickly separated throughout the region. In the Western countries, trade and commerce expanded through three factors by the late Middle Ages, which are development of towns, agricultural revolution, technological innovation and expansion. In cities and towns, trade fairs are an important place for markets to exchange goods and settle accounts. The agricultural revolution also produced surplus foods, which was used by the House of Lords traded in exchange for luxury goods. With the growth of trade, the currency transaction replaced the barter system, and by the 13th century, coins were widely used and had a great demand. The kings and Italian city-states of the Middle Ages began to produce their own coins. Banks were established due to the demand for lending, standardization, security, storage, and transportation of currency increased. After the Crusades, there was a huge demand for new commodities such as silk, spices, tea, salt, sugar, and petroleum, which came from the Silk Road. Trade and commerce connected the various regions from the medieval world through the Silk Road. It ran from China to Eastern Europe, promoting the trade between different empires, separating ideals, culture, inventions, and unique products around the world. By the 14th century, Venice had become the most cosmopolitan city in medieval Europe, and it controlled the trade with Middle East and Northern Europe. It created the fleet in Flanders, which consolidated Venice's status as a commercial city. Abu Hamid ibn al-Ghazali is considered one of the greatest scholars in Islam. He is considered the best and the most influential thinker in medieval Islam. Most of Ghazali's commentary and analysis on economic issues can be found in his book, Ihya al-Din, which is generally regarded as his best works, which consists of 4 volumes. Ghazali's economic thinking is based on 5 pillars of personal and social survival under Sharia law, which includes religion, family, life, property, and intelligence. He focused on the economic elements of maslaha, separating necessities, comfort, and luxury. In his opinion, the existence of self-sufficiency is not enough, but wealth has its own risks. It is recommended that people take the middle road to avoid excessive discomfort. Ghazali emphasizes market ethics and regards the creation of delivery of necessities as a responsibility. He condemned hoarding and praised teamwork, refusing to lend to usurers, and believes economic progress is considered to require justice, peace, and stability. David Ricardo is a famous British economist who is the completer of bourgeois classical political economy, one of his most famous work is Principles of Political Economy and Taxation. The fundamental task of the bourgeoisie in Ricardo era is still anti-feudalism. David Ricardo put forward the concept of comparative cost trade in his book Principles of Political Economy and Taxation. It is later called comparative advantage trade theory. According to the comparative advantage theory, international trade is not limited to absolute differences in worker productivity. He believes the opportunity cost of production and operation determines the comparative advantage. The principle of comparative advantage is one of the core principles of economics. In conclusion, we studied Al-Ghazali's view on economic activity and wealth in his book, Yahya Ulum al-Din, which emphasized on economic activity and wealth are only our way to the future. If people obey Sharia law, they may participate in the realization of Muslim preferences. Al-Ghazali pointed out the importance of morality in all activities, including economic activities. David Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage proves that countries can achieve mutual trade benefits by exporting products with relatively low costs and importing products with relatively high costs. This is the main contribution of this theory in the study of international labor division. However, this is not in line with the actual reality of international trade. Firstly, the greater the difference in comparative benefits, the greater the possibility of trade. Secondly, according to this doctrine, under the conditions of the free trade, both parties involved in the trade can benefit. In order to obtain comparative benefits, all countries in the world should implement free trade. But in the real life, no country has ever implemented completely free trade. That's all. Thank you.